What's one thing you would say to the world if it was the last thing you would ever say?
That's too deep.
Hi, I'm KingDavid.
Hi, I'm Chude.
And we want to talk about beautiful things.
Okay, where do we start?
Where do we start?
Yes.
In the beginning.
Okay, in the beginning. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so first, how did this happen? How did this come to be?
This conversation?
Yes, us deciding to do this.
Let's hear the story from
Okay, let me try and see if I can romanticize it. So it's lunch one beautiful afternoon, and I shared this idea that has always been in my head about this documentary film thing that talks about mental health and how I was not really sure what I wanted it to be yet. And he graciously just said, you know what, let's make something first. And we'll just sit down and we'll just talk and record it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So this is this.
It was a beautiful afternoon, actually.
It was a beautiful afternoon.
Beautiful Lagos afternoon. I like Lagos. And it was like, how long did we spend? It was like a 15, 20 minutes, maybe not more
No, it was longer than that.
It was longer than that.
It was longer than
How long
that.
was it?
We were like an hour.
I have this like lounge chairs for the beach chairs. We'll just go and sit down there and get a canopy and just stay there. I'm crazy like that.
That's cool. That's
Yes, I'm still
really
doing it. Maybe
cool.
we'll do it together. And one Saturday, I was driving back. I just gone to Badagry Beach. I was driving back, and I saw that Lagosians have turned the entire stretch of the coastal road into the bar beach. So if you go to the coastal road on Sundays, people are there. There's no chair, there's no amenity, there's no table, there's no anything, but people are there. They know. When they see it, then they know that they need it. And it's a point of I say that Nigeria doesn't help us be our best selves. It's the job of a thinking government to be like, what do my people need, even if they don't know it?
That they need it.
And so I connected that to this guy that I saw lying down on the floor and thinking, we need it. That's the second story. Third story, two more stories. My mom. When my father passed, the night my father passed, I drove in to Ikorodu, living in somewhere called Odogunyo in the Yoruba. So I said Odogunyo is after you've passed Ikorodu, you start to go into Odogunyo. And I entered, and
so
my father...
is it in Ogun State or in Lagos?
It's in Ogun State, to be honest. Okay. We're just... No, it's not actually in Ogun State, but that's in theory. In reality, Odogunyo is in Ogun State. It's where the Polytechnic is. So it's like on the end. And then I walk in, they call me that my father has passed, so I'm driving, I'm rushing home. And then I go in, and my mother is on the floor. She's gone. And I don't know what to feel, because that was the first death I ever experienced that was close. And I want to connect with my mother, but I can't, because there's so many people. So the be a man people are there. Be a man. So I'm like, I can't even breathe. I'm already a man. So the other man people are there. Then the people who are accentuating who have turned my mother's grief into a performance, the women, and I don't judge them, but they are just doing it. And some of it doesn't, so it's all loud and noisy. And all I want is for everybody to leave me and my mom alone. And I feel like something was stolen from me at that moment. And we've never really had a moment for two of us to just grieve over our dad in that kind of intense way. So I broke down at the graveside. I couldn't cry from then until weeks after, when my father was finally buried. I couldn't cry because I feel like there was just that moment of connection for both of us. And because of all the drama, we just lost it.
For example, growing up, people used to say I was too sensitive, that I used to cry too much.
Yes.
Everything made me cry.
Yes.
And it never made sense, because I'm like, feelings are meant to be felt.
Or you even thought that? Me, I didn't think so. I thought they were right.
Yeah.
I shot it. I was like, this must be right. Something was wrong.
Like, I'm like, it was a tussle, like I said, the rumble.
Right.
Like, there's this part of you that was like, yeah, even me, I'm tired of constantly being in my feelings all the time. But then you're like, there's something, like I said, there's a tussle.
Yeah.
Then over time, you learn to understand it. You get to see how that part of yourself helps you treat other people kindly. You see how that part of yourself helps you be considerate to other people. And you get to see that, even though even though people criticize this part of myself,
Yeah.
this same part of myself allows me to do what these same people celebrate. For example, now I know some. I'll say this. Some of my friends, when I first started making content, my people that I'm close with,
Yeah.
they were like, "Why is this boy doing this?"
They're
Like,
cringing.
yeah. To be honest,
Yeah.
it was cringe.
Yeah, yeah.
My best friend would say, "I'll scratch your eye," because that's something we say to each other. Like,
Yeah.
I do something that's like, "I'll scratch your eye." So he was like, "What's this?" But then you see how you like take a step back and you see the impact of it, and you're like, "Huh?" He said one thing one day. He said, "All your videos make me cringe." But there are sometimes I watch some of them, and of course I know you. I know the heart behind what you do. It's just the medium that just cringe to me. And there are some times where I watch it and I can see you in this.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
For some strange reason, on Lady Gaga and people who are weird, I think is one thing I really admire about folks like that is they don't ask for permission to be.
Yes. 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 Yes.
They don't ask for permission to be.
And that's what the world wants to take from you. The cringe is unavoidable. You can't avoid it. So don't try to. You know? And then there was another part where she said something like, love the parts of you that make you cringe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's where your specialness
Specialness
comes from. Like
Yeah.
those things that even you yourself, you're like, oof. You see, like those things are the things that, and I'm just seeing the headline, the cringe factor of Taylor Swift is the key to her magic. So yeah, so society is uncomfortable with cringe. And like I'm what you're trying to say, that's what you're saying about your friend Debbie.
Yeah.
That those things that they used to cringe about when you guys were growing up in Okitipupa,
Yeah.
you were happy that those things remained.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Bobrisky.
That's an interesting one.
I thought of Bobrisky. And when Bobrisky went through that whole thing that made Bobrisky finally leave Nigeria. When Bobrisky was arrested, when they were in prison, they wanted to get a more comfortable thing because they were being harassed, which you would expect. And anybody who has done prison outreach knows that whole thing that the prison service was doing about shock and etc. is just, everybody knows that there are different chalets in every Nigerian prison. There's VIP chalet, there's celebrity, everybody knows that. So this performance of outrage that we did as a society, I just found it funny. But Bobrisky reached out to celebrities that they didn't know. He just reached out to them and said, look, I've been here. I know every celebrity who didn't know Bobrisky that sent Bobrisky money, I felt that they were kind. Because they're not your friend, they don't know you from anywhere, they are already in prison, you know, but you just feel like, let me just be kind. And one of the other things that struck me was Alibaba, the comedy legend. Alibaba came out and said, it's not fair that Bobrisky is in jail for something that we know that everybody does. It's not fair. It's just not fair. And you know, and Alibaba is a conservative Nigerian Christian, so I would assume that Alibaba doesn't necessarily agree with Bobrisky's choices, what they would call a lifestyle. But on the kindness question,
it was clear.
I just thought to myself, I love you, sir. That you just thought on the fairness and the kindness question, this is not fair. And that really, and small things like that speaks to me. Like I call them oases of public kindness, because some things are performative, yes, but we need performance as a society as well. Like we see so much performance of cruelty and wickedness. When I see performance of kindness, I want to be like,
celebrate it too.
That's how we should be as a society.
It's better to have performed kindness than no kindness at all.
At all. When people say to celebrities, they are serving food and they are showing the problem, I said, at least they are serving food.
At least they are serving food.
At least they are serving food.
Actually.
Yes.
Actually, at least they are serving food.
Nigeria will do a lot, to take people's kindness away from them. Like I wanted to be kind, but even somebody I was trying to be kind to, I still was proud of myself. And as you're trying to be kind to somebody, the person is still wicked in you.
That's crazy.
Like I interviewed Timmy Dakolo, when he became an adult, that's when he realized that somebody can be crying and be killing you.
Be crying and be killing
Killing you.
you.
There's somebody can, like the fact that somebody says I love you doesn't mean the person is not trying to destroy you. You know,
That's crazy.
and those are the things that you are struggling with when you are still. So I think the point of kindness, which what I think you're saying, is not to be kind when it's easy. Everybody can be kind when it's easy. It's how can you be kind even when, like Alibaba, even when it contradicts your principles, but you chose kindness over your principles.
Yeah.
How can you be kind even if other people are not being kind to you? But you know that your identity, like a pastor was saying, is to be kind.
Be a kind person, yeah.
And you are kind nonetheless. So you don't let the person change who you are.
Yeah.
It's tough, Sha.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a great metaphor or allegory, I'm not sure, of how we Nigerians, how we Africans had to try and integrate foreign cultures into our culture. There's this whole thing about the guy who's like, he sings in Gwangwan music. So the Oyibo pastor is trying to get him to sing like the perfect
hymns,
some harmonies, and he's just adding, inside. I think that we do that with prayer, for instance. So, when I do my event, you've been at least in one event. Oh, I don't do it in my other events. I need to be doing it. I do a benediction in my major events, but I don't do it in like the book readings. And I'm like, I think that one of my favorite pastors is a troublemaker, is Abel Damina.
I love him.
And that's a 3-part series called There Are No Answers to Prayers in Heaven. Yeah? And essentially his thesis, which I agree with, that's the doctrine I align to, is that when you pray, God is not going to create any new thing. Everything that's created is already around. If you're praying for babies, God is not going to create a new womb. God is not going to create new sperm. God is not going to create new eggs. Everything that we need is existing. We discover electricity, we discover internet, we discover AI. Those things have always been in existence. We are the ones that discovered them. Yeah. It just explains something I've always felt about life. Like, and then it's about prayer. So it's like when you are praying and you're casting and binding, I don't have any problems with that. Or maybe I do. Casting and binding. Just don't think that.
I agree with casting and bind. Cast and bind when you need to.
Yeah, don't. And it's like, you're not casting and binding because you're not trying to get God's attention.
Yeah.
Like God already cared and he has already provided. Actually, prayer is for you.
Yeah, it is for you.
It's for you to be able to figure it out.
Alignment.
And so when I think about prayer, I'm like, when I was younger, I used to think that, but this prayer, we're not doing, I don't feel like where we are praying is what prayer was supposed to be. As a child, I used to feel that. I just think that, like when you're praying for food, so Nigerians will be like, any witch, any evil deposits in this food, be neutralized. And I'm like, no, the whole point, the tradition of praying on food was supposed to be like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And the whole part of it is not even that God doesn't know that you're grateful for the food. It's actually for you, like for you to have a deeper sense of enjoyment of this moment.
And a consciousness of the fact that this is a gift. This moment is a gift from God,
So when we finish church and we say the grace, it's not as if if you don't say the grace, our blessings are not going to come. It's like, just saying that grace helps us, if you want to have a better word, feel how we should feel.
Yeah.
And I think that we often miss that. So when we do benedictions, when we do the grace, when we come together and we pray, if somebody is sick and we're praying for the person, God already knows that God should heal the person. But in our prayers, we connect deeply with the person's pain. And we are present as human beings. You know how Jesus Christ said, blessed are those who mourn, blessed are those who this, blessed are those who this. So it's like the prayer helps us be fully empathetic and be fully present with whatever it is that's going on in the world around us.
And I also like to think that one of my take on that is, I like to think some things have been made available. This sounds very churchy already.
But you're a church person.
I am, but I also don't really like to sound churchy.
Right.
But I think like some things have been made available, and prayer is our way of, should I say, I like to think of it as like radio frequencies. There's this channel, there's that channel, this channel, this channel. If you want to listen to this channel, you have to tune to that channel to be able to receive signal for it.
Yeah.
You do the tuning.
Yeah.
The radio is not tuning to you.
Right.
You are the one tuning to the radio.
Fair.
So you tune and then you receive that which is
thing
already
is
there. They're already playing. They're already doing their thing.
That's
so
useful.
with someone who Jesus already is in the Bible there. Jesus died for your healing. He has already died.
Yeah.
So your prayer is, allow me to say, you tuning to the frequency.
Of
I
the
sound so
death.
new age of the death and resurrection of Jesus for your healing.
Yeah.
And do it. Everybody's great.
You know, there are moments in your life where you feel more human than the next moment. And I felt more human
In that
at that
moment.
moment than many other moments. That's story one. Story two, I don't know if I should say this, but I have a favorite spot in Lagos, on the island, where I just go and park. And there's a part where it's a popular place, everybody, but they don't know. I have my spot. The sun streams in, the water is on the ground. It's uncompleted buildings up and down, but it's perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
And I go there one day, and there's this Okada man who's spread on the floor.
Yeah, you told me this
I told
story.
you this
Yeah, it's
story.
very close. I just laid down.
And just lying down on the floor, in quiet. And you can see that this guy is like, life is too much, and I just want to rest. I just want to breathe, you know. And this stereotypical Okada man, you know, and it's just like, I just want to breathe. I was there for so I thought I was going to be there temporarily. I was there with my friend for about 4 hours. The Okada man was there for at least 3 hours. And I remember saying to you that, you know, these are the people that Lagos doesn't have any beaches
Any
currently.
spaces, yeah.
Up until you get to Ajah roundabout
yeah.
for lower income people.
Yeah.
Every beach has to be paid for.
Yeah.
And these are the people that when you tell Lagosians, if you tell Lagosians, we need public beaches, they'll be like, we have bigger problems. Is it beach that's our problem? But I'm like, you just don't know that it's your problem because it's not being provided for you.
Yeah.
This guy lying down there knows, like, life is so loud that he needs a place to be like.
And if I may say, some people know that it's a necessity, and they can afford it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it's people
Just
who
because they can afford it. And the people that can't afford it, I feel like sometimes they don't even know that that's what they need.
Of course, you don't know, because if it's not available, it's like if you're living
Like
in
they've never had the option of trying
try,
it.
you don't know. You don't know that
Yeah.
you need emotional space. When people say many things about Nigerians don't need that. What we need is money. I'm like, don't be too sure that we don't need that. Then if you pass the coastal road,
Yeah.
you know, which is one of the greatest inventions of the 21st century, pass the coastal road, Calabar Lagos coastal road, you pass it. If you live in that area, if you live in that area, you know. Then the other day I was passing on a Sunday. So I used to tell my driver, look, one day I'll just like I have this like lounge chairs for the beach chairs. We'll just go and sit down there and get a canopy and just stay there. I'm crazy like that.
That's cool. That's
Yes, I'm still
really
doing
cool.
it. Maybe we'll do it together. And one Saturday I was driving back. I just gone to Badagry Beach. I was driving back, and I saw that Lagosians have turned the entire stretch of the coastal road into the bar beach. So if you go to the coastal road on Sundays, people are there. There's no chair, there's no amenity, there's no table, there's no anything. But people are there. They know. When they see it, then they know that they need it. And it's a point of I say that Nigeria doesn't help us be our best selves. It's the job of a thinking government to be like, what do my people need, even if they don't know it?
That they need it.
And so I connected that to this guy that I saw lying down on the floor and thinking, we need it. That's the second story. I want to make a personal request to you. Many of you watch, like, comment, but you don't subscribe. Now, subscription matters as you subscribe and as you engage. So I am making a personal request. Don't just watch and leave. Please click the subscribe button. It matters to me.